When you think of Ralph Lauren, you probably picture the iconic polo logo, preppy fashion, and timeless American style. But the story behind this global fashion empire doesn't start on the runway or in a design studio. It begins with a young man from the Bronx, New York, with a dream and a necktie. Ralph Lifshitz was born in 1939 to a working-class Jewish family. As a teenager, he changed his last name to Lauren, not for glamour, but to avoid bullying. Growing up in the Bronx, Ralph wasn't surrounded by wealth, but he was fascinated by it. He admired old Hollywood, classic style, and the idea of elegance, not as something you were born into, but something you could create. Unlike most fashion designers, Ralph didn't go to design school. He actually studied business briefly and then served in the army. But he always had an eye for style, a look that blended British refinement with American confidence. In the 1960s, Ralph Lauren was working as a salesman for a tie company when he pitched a bold idea: wide, colorful neckties, completely different from the skinny conservative ties of the time. His bosses said no, so he quit. In 1967, with just a few $100s and the help of a small manufacturer, Ralph started his own tie line under the name Polo, a word that represented sophistication, sport, and a certain lifestyle. He sold his first collection from a drawer in the Empire State Building. That same year, high-end department store Neiman Marcus ordered 200 of his ties. It was a huge moment, and it launched Ralph Lauren into the fashion spotlight. By 1968, he expanded into a full line of men's clothing under the Polo name. He wasn't just selling clothes, he was selling a dream, a lifestyle. His collections weren't about trends. They were about timeless elegance, Ivy League charm, and quiet luxury. In 1971, Polo Ralph Lauren introduced its first women's line, and that same year, the now iconic polo player logo appeared for the first time. It was a brilliant branding move, simple, elegant, and instantly recognizable. In 1972, Ralph Lauren launched the polo shirt, available in a rainbow of colors. It was sporty, stylish, and accessible. That shirt would go on to define the brand and become one of the most copied and celebrated pieces in fashion history. By the late 1970s, Ralph Lauren's empire was growing. He designed costumes for movies like The Great Gatsby and Annie Hall, further cementing his association with American elegance. His brand wasn't just clothes anymore, it was a world. From tailored suits to home collections, fragrances, and even restaurants, Ralph Lauren had created a complete lifestyle brand. What made Polo Ralph Lauren different from other brands was its clear vision. It didn't chase fast fashion. It stood for quality, tradition, and aspiration. Ralph once said, "I don't design clothes, I design dreams." And that's exactly what he did. He sold a vision of the American dream, refined but reachable. Throughout the 80s and 90s, Polo Ralph Lauren became a symbol of success and status, worn by everyone from Wall Street bankers to hip-hop artists. The brand crossed boundaries, appealing to both old money and new culture. It became part of the fashion DNA of America and eventually, the world. In 1997, Ralph Lauren took the company public, making it one of the first American fashion brands to do so. His business empire now included not only fashion but home decor, accessories, fragrances, and even coffee shops and flagship stores across major cities worldwide. Today, Polo Ralph Lauren is more than just a fashion label. It's a cultural icon. It's featured in museums, worn by Olympic teams, and still represents the idea that style can be both classic and personal. And the man behind it all, Ralph Lauren, built this empire not through fashion school or family wealth, but through vision, taste, and grit. He took a simple idea, a better tie, and turned it into a lifestyle brand known across the globe. So the next time you see that little polo player stitched onto a shirt, remember, it all started with one man, a drawer full of colorful ties, and a dream to make the world a little more elegant. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more inspiring stories behind the world's most iconic brands.